Where Air Traffic and Navigation Services has reported a critical systems failure at the OR Tambo International Airport. Now, the system failure has affected flight management as well as operations at the airport, causing some flight delays. AXA has alerted passengers to check their schedules for delays since there will be changes in flight schedules, and passengers have been advised to contact their airlines directly for updates as well as their flight status. All right, we had promised you earlier on that we will be getting in touch with our reporter on the scene. She is now at the OR Tambo International Airport. Mbalenhle Mthethwa, SABC News reporter. A very good afternoon to you. So talk to us about what is currently happening now. What type of scenes did you stumble upon when you arrived at the airport there, Mbali? Mbali, can you hear me? All right, it seems like we are struggling in terms of audio with our reporter. We will try and get hold of her in a short time. But let's continue with your news for now. The 12-day strike by FlySafe pilots is now finally over, as the airline has confirmed that the industrial action has officially come to an end following the signing of a formal agreement between airline management and labor union Solidarity early today. In a statement, FlySafe says all its aircrafts will then return to active duty, with schedules also being normalized. Now, in terms of the settlement, pilots will receive at least 160-hour weekend offs during each 6-week cycle, with a minimum of 9 weekends off per year. And they will also be allowed to exchange their shifts among themselves. And on remuneration, pilots will then receive a salary increase of 6% in the first year, followed by 6.5% the following year. And the pilots will also be entitled to another increase just after 7% in the last 2 years of this particular deal. All right, let's try once again with our reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa, who's stationed at the OR Tambo International Airport following the technical systems error that is now affecting travel and operations at the airport. Mbali, a very good afternoon to you. So please tell us what's currently happening now and what type of scenes you stumbled upon when you arrived at the airport today.
Well, it's unclear the extent of the disruptions that could have occurred here at OR Tambo. As you can see behind me, the sign is there. We are just outside OR Tambo, and unfortunately we could not really speak to those affected by the interruptions as a result of what seems to have been a technical systems issue, or rather a systems failure that affected the flight planning management system, which affected the taking off and the landing of flights here in OR Tambo. And unfortunately we could not go inside because, as you know, OR Tambo International Airport is a national key point and we require permission in order to go inside. And unfortunately we were unable to secure an interview with the company that is responsible for managing the flight plan management system here, which is the Air Traffic and Navigation Services company here in OR Tambo. They have, however, issued a statement confirming that there were some interruptions and that they are working around the clock with stakeholders to ensure that they're able to resolve the issue. However, upon close inspection, when you are inside of the airport, you see that the flights are taking off and taxiing off the runway, and it seems as though there has been very minimal interruptions to flights. However, it's unclear if the other flights that have been affected. We only know of one flight that was affected and which was grounded for a period of nearly over 5 hours, where passengers had to sit on a flight that was on its way to Port Elizabeth and have not been able to leave or land, leave OR Tambo, or even take off into the air between 11:30 and just after or just before 5 p.m. this afternoon. These are the challenges that we have really been able to ascertain at this point, but we are still waiting for more details. It's back to you in studio.
All right, thank you so much to SABC News reporter joining us there right outside, of course, the OR Tambo International International Airport, where we understand a systems technical error has caused some issues pertaining to the operations there. But according to a reporter who's just arrived, she says on the ground it looks like there's been minimal impact on flights that are taking off and landing. She also has confirmed that the planes are actually taxiing on the runway, and it's just that it's an issue of the flight that was actually delayed, that was actually affected earlier on during the day. We will be, of course, continuing to monitor developments in the story. And also, she also, of course, confirmed to us that AXA, or the airport's company, is saying that they're working around the clock to ensure that this glitch is actually resolved.